Hello, all you hardcores out there. How are you doing? It's Russ here from Porky's Corner. Today we're joined by Ian on his second appearance. How are you doing, Ian?
Morning, Russ. Very good, sir. How are you?
I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. What you been up to?
Uh, just work and not a lot really. Yeah, and looking forward to the weekend. Got a nice bit of weather down in Kent. Um, and in fact, I was. You asked me a question yesterday. You said to me, "What was your early memories and what's the great
Yeah.
love of boxing?" And I was thinking about it, and it was my dear old granddad. He used to take me to small hall shows in London. And I can remember as a young fella going to watch John Conti fight. And then as we grew up, we repaid the compliment. My brother used to work at Spitalfield Market, and he knew all the touts, and we used to get tickets. Do you remember the Mark Caylor versus Tony Simpson fight?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Well, we took my old granddad and put a cigar in his top left-hand pocket and a bottle of brown ale. So that's where it all started, really, Russ.
Yeah, is that where you first started watching boxing?
Yeah, yeah, indeed. And wasn't there a tout called Stan Flashman?
Back in
Um,
the day, though, oh, yeah, he used to be in papers all the time, didn't
I mean, wasn't the story that he had two tickets for Princess Anne's wedding or
he?
something?
Yeah. Stan Flashman. It reminds me of that Eric Hall. Do you remember him? Monster
Yeah,
Monster.
yeah, he was to do with Tottenham, wasn't he? A Jewish fella.
He was
Yeah,
Dennis Wise's agent, wasn't
he was. Yeah, God, yeah, I remember him. He was as mad as a box of frogs. Yeah.
he? Yeah, okay. Uh, right, I've jotted a few things down, so I think we'll just blast straight through them. And if you just, give me your answer to each one, if 1 or 2 minutes or whatever, whatever you want to talk about, yeah. Uh, okay. Has Bamba Gascoigne had a bath yet?
No idea. what,
All right. You're not as
what,
ruthless as me. Answers on a postcard if Bamba
what,
Gascoigne's actually had a bath and a shave. Porkycorner@mail.com.
what's your thought?
No, I'd first throw him and see at Mark and me after his wash Fury's cars. That's what I'd do. Big shout out to Peter De Freitas battling cancer. I hope you're well, Peter, and I hope you come on after the Ben Eubank gimmick fight.
Yeah.
Uh, and I can't remember if I asked. I can't remember if I asked you this yesterday, but what do you think about the Ben family being in talks to do a Netflix reality TV program like the Furies? What do you think?
Well, it's all to do with the pound note, and they're going to cash in why they're actually on the front page of the tabloids. And it's as simple as that. I can't say I've got any interest whatsoever.
Is that why we can't get Nigel Ben off our screens at the moment? Because he's been hiding under a rock for years, and now all of a sudden he's resurfaced and he's giving it the old saying, bruv, bruv, bruv. Like the apple don't fall far from the tree, does it, with him and his brat?
No, and he was on full bore on the press conference, which hopefully you'll want to talk about a bit.
Yeah,
A bit.
well, yeah, yeah. Can I
But
just
yeah,
ask you what you thought about that press conference, Ian?
personally, well, I'll be honest with you. I turned it on, didn't see Adi Aladipo on there, and then the announcer turned to Rick Reno, who's the COO of Ring Magazine, and his opening gambit was that the promoters have been putting on horse shit fights on DAZN before Uncle Turkey and Ring Magazine got involved. The camera then pans slowly to the right, and I promise you, Russ, the 7-0 Iceman from Billericay, four by way of Eddie, it looked like his balls had shriveled to two raisins. And everything you said a few months ago of the decline of Matchroom is true, and it's coming true. So he got one right on the chops, and because he's not the money in the room, and then Chris Eubank finished him off in style.
Yeah.
Just brilliant. It was he covered every base.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Eubank's good with his tongue, isn't he?
Well, because the problem is he's in it for one reason only, and that's the pound note. And he knows that he's got a limited time span left. He knows that his check is coming from Uncle Turkey. probably from Seller, and it will go maybe even to Dubai, so he can get around some HRMC stuff in the UK. Very smart operator, and he doesn't need Eddie Hearn, and Eddie Hearn is lost at this particular because all the boxers rub up to him, don't they? Make him feel brand new all the time. He
Oh,
just
Eddie.
destroyed him. He destroyed him yesterday.
Let me just tell you something about Eddie Hearn, right? I've met him several times, right? Do you know when you're in his company, everybody hangs out the back of him. They all laugh at his jokes. And I remember him coming out with something, and he likes to take piss out everybody. Obviously, he took piss out me because I were a fat one back in the day, and he's plenty to say. And like I said, everybody laughs at his jokes, and he comes into the room and he's full of himself, and he just terrorizes everybody. He's got an opinion on everybody's weight, their hair, what clothes they're wearing, what they're eating, how they're looking. He's just an absolute bully. And I was looking at him at this press conference one, and I was sat with Kell Brook's stepdad, Richard Poxon, and Kell Brook, and I was looking at him. And I just thought to myself, you know what? You are an absolute spoilt human being. You've never had to overcome adversity in your life. And I actually thought to myself, do you know what? He's heading for a falling, but he's managed to keep it going this long anyway. His bullshit. They've manipulated the press, the media. Nobody dare go up against them. It's like a closed shop. They're even getting people like Carl Froch turn their heads so they're on board or they're out the door. Carl Froch very critical about the guard, Coogan Cassius, all the rest of them, Spencer Oliver, Spencer Fear, and the lot of them. But he's fell in line, hasn't
At the moment, he has. There's
he? Yeah.
got to be more to this. I mean, going back to Eddie, he reminds me of a 6'4" school bully that's finally met his match because Eubank has done him. I mean, yesterday he wouldn't let him speak again. He left the stage and he brought Spotty Frank on, his brother-in-law, to take over, and he gave him a barrel full as well. But I'm hoping that there's more to this with Carl than what we all think that he's just been told to shut up. I don't know.
Well, no, he's going to want access and all that free gratis, isn't he? And it's nice to be waited on and flown about and all that. And hopefully, Carl will be wanting a pension fight because he never got his Chavez fight, did he? But he needs to come out and tell the truth about that. Instead of like falling in line with what Eddie's narrative is, because Eddie's come out and he's told a load of shit. So he
Well,
needs to come out and tell the truth about that, really, because he would have fought Chavez if they could have sorted the money out. But he would have. There was telling Carl he had to take $1 million hit on the original offer because Aram said no, I want £1 million to release Chavez. So Froch needs to come out and explain that instead of going on about he had an elbow injury and all that. That ain't the real reason, and that's what pisses me off. It's like when I see these trainers who are doing podcasts and they're talking about the time in jail and all that and blah blah blah. They're not telling the full story. They're just telling us what they want to know. And I think they should come out and just tell the proper story instead of giving us tidbits. Let's hear the proper story and let's have a proper opinion on yours. Instead of just chatting waffle for the sake of it. That's my opinion. It gets me down.
but there's an old saying, isn't there? Be careful who you upset on the way up, because on the way down there's a
Oh,
mighty.
on the way down, the ice will be breaking and I'll be fucking waiting.
I can
Right.
see. I can see
Uh, you're
losing it.
Ian.
Sorry, Russ. I was
Now
just
go
going to
on.
see him losing his TV contract with the Zone. I think that Ben Shalom will get re-signed by Sky because he really did drop Sky in it. So he'll have no TV deal, and the only way to go possibly is to TNT, and that's it, or disappear off into the sunset.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you. What do you think to the old Ferrari nonsense? I mean, Matt, we had Nigel Benn, didn't we, flying up and down in a white 911 when he fought Michael Watson after the weigh-in. Then he went off for a ponytail added to his head. What a prick. And now we've got Crusher with his fake beard flying up and down in his white Ferrari with Eddie Hills, the 7-0 Iceman from Billy Ricky. Five by way of course, but no footage. But we've got
Well,
him shouting, it's on site if we see Eubank at presser. On site. Well, no happened, did it, when they saw him?
I mean, he insults our intelligence. Has he completely lost touch with reality? I mean, we're going through a tough period in the UK at the moment. Money's short.
Yeah.
And everything is now chargeable. You know, if you want to watch this, you've got to pay for this. A pint of beer's a fortune. And he's smoking up and down in a Ferrari. I
I
mean,
know, on
saying,
lease.
yeah,
On
saying,
VIP leasing at Essex.
there you go. And look at me. I just think it's a joke. It's just, well, what's the old saying? You can't polish a turd.
Exactly. The old lie detector carry on. For Ben and Eubank and all that. Do you think it's just all IPing?
All hype. Yeah.
Mm. It's
All
all
hype.
drama like WWE, isn't it?
Well, it's all to do with clickbait, isn't it? And it's all to do with the casual, not the hardcore. So
Yeah.
the most noise they can make. I mean, do you remember the infamous John Fury standing there shouting and screaming? I mean, he got his collar felt, and he was told by Turkey to disappear. But people were talking about it. We're talking about it,
Yeah.
and we can't stand it.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
still worried though. Honestly, Russ, I'm still worried about Chris. He looked drawn yesterday in that press conference. I
Mm.
just really, really hope we can rehydrate and they don't fart us around with the weigh-in time, because he'll be counting those minutes down, won't he?
Mm. We have sorry, how can I explain? We've had this fight's been built up for a long, long time now, hasn't it? About a good few years. And leading up to it, we've got these lie detectors, we've got failed dope tests, we've got eggs smashed in the faces, we've got Chris Eubank Senior piping up, 274-page dossiers, Piers Morgan interviews, face-offs, threats of slaps, and 18-foot ring now, and rehydration clauses. Billy Joe Saunders going to watch the hand wraps. It's all script writing when you look at it. There's about 18, 19 scripts been wrote there, to sell it. But what they're forgetting to mention is if you go onto the Tottenham Hotspur uh, website this morning, you will see that £59 tickets are 27 quid, and there's some £88 tickets at £41. So I thought it was sold out
Well, what happened to the 240,000 in the queue?
in the queue. Well, Frank Smith said 130, Eddie said 240, didn't he? Gareth A. Davis said 220,000, but has anybody actually rung up? Because I rung up and I was in the queue, 19th in the queue.
Wow.
So you see where I'm coming from? And that were after it had been open a couple of hours. So do they think that we're all stupid? Because what these lot are doing, these self-entitled dossers, they're stood in the penthouse, they've got the cocks out, and they're just pissing on everybody with sheer bullshit to get the casual pound note. It's absolutely unreal what's going on.
Well,
Absolutely
I mean,
unreal. They've got
Hearn,
all that Towie lot from Essex. They've come to all and they are absolutely pushing it left, right, and centre. Coogan Cassius is pushing it. He's supposed to be a media guy that's impartial in it. He's pushing it. Do you know what I mean? He's bigging up the Billy Joe Saunders and rap thing that's going to go on tomorrow. So it's absolutely shocking what's gone on, and they're all in on it. Piers Morgan and they've all played the part. But at the end of the day, we've got one fighter who won a British title 9 years ago, and we've got another fighter that's never won anything, and they're both fighting because of who their dads are, and it's absolutely shocking what's gone on.
it could all unravel. It could, the fight could be an absolute stinker, and everyone's going to start booing. I could possibly see that happening. I mean, what is Eddie doing? I mean, it's a very stressful time before a fight. They're getting their hands wrapped. It's an observational thing, and he's got someone that they doesn't like him. And I mean, surely Billy Joe's got enough class in him that he's not going to chirp up and start winding him up. Surely.
I don't know. Billy Joe, does he think that Eubank's not bothered about him? Eubanks would flog him. Now, Billy Joe's only in on action because he's been out of the ring. Is it 4 year
Yeah.
next month? 4 year, isn't it? Or
Yeah.
3 year? I might must have a little check. We'll have a little check. I'm sure it's 4 year in May since he fought Canelo.
Yeah.
Well, Billy Joe basically fat as a pig Michelin man, but he'd love a big Eubank fight because Eubank's the draw now, isn't he?
Well, this is it. They're all lining up now. They just want an easy payday. Yeah. Or
You know what I mean?
I mean, surely Billy's not coming back after being out the ring so long. I mean, do
Billy
you want
Joe Saunders, 8th of May 2021. It's that long ago. He's the forgotten man, isn't he? So he's not had a payday for 4 year. He might be on cheekbones of his arse. Imagine him trying to muscle in on this, supervising hand wraps without there being anything in it for him. You see where I'm coming from?
Totally agree. I thought that was a joke last night, but it's true, isn't it? Ring Magazine put that out as well.
I can't see that happening, but if that happens, is that where we're at now? They're having to dig up an ex-fighter who fought 4 year ago. And let me have a look when he fought Eubank, actually. Let's have a look. He fought Eubank in 2014, 11 years ago.
You
So
don't
they're
think
going to rematch after 11 years, and he beat Eubank in a split, and a lot of people thought that Eubank won, didn't they?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It were Terry O'Connor get it 115, 113 because he's a brick top man. Marcus McDonnell, a brick top man, gave it 115, 114. Phil Edwards gave it to Eubank by 3 rounds, 116, 113. So Bricktop had his two men in on night, didn't he? O'Connor and McDonnell. So Billy technically really knew he just had to get the 12 rounds done, and he had two judges in his pocket, didn't he? Really.
Well, it says it all, doesn't it? I'm now starting to think, is this going to be scripted, the fight? Are we going to have a Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul scenario going on here?
Oh my! Talk about gimmicks. But hey ho, we spoke yesterday about it's a 147 guy against a 168 guy, but technically, and I know I keep going on about this, Ben's been a 154 guy 3 year, and Eubank for 5.5 year has been a 160 guy. So there's this weight thing. It's not for me. This keep going on about weight. It's technically a light middle against a middle. Do you agree on that, Ian?
100%.
But
Yes.
why are they just pushing this constantly? Like, oh, Crusher Ben's so brave. Well, if he's so brave, and so much of a warrior, why do they need this 18-foot ring? And why do they need Billy Joe to get stuck into Eubank's head before fight? And why do they need to keep going on about this weight disparity when really it's only 6 pounds? He's supposed to be a warrior, isn't he?
Of course he's not a warrior. I mean, did you watch the fight when was it Dobson he fought in America when he was on the ban?
He couldn't denote with anybody at 154.
No.
So if you can't stop Dossers at 154, why are you moving up to 160 to fight a former IBO champion?
This whole fight is based on one thing.
Pound note.
Yeah, but what Chris Eubank looks like when he walks in that ring. And I think we'll know more on Saturday. Because if he goes in drained, I think he's going to be weak. But if he can just get some strength back in, I think he'll blast him out. I think what you said yesterday was 100% correct. He's going to come out a bit like a playground fight. He's going to come out 100 miles an hour, and he's just got to fend him off, and he just pick him off.
Yeah, which is going to be found first? The 274 page dossier, Kent's iPad, or Big John Fury? Which are we going to find first?
They're probably all in a safe deposit box somewhere.
John Fury's gone missing, hasn't he? Has Big Joe Egan done him in?
I don't know where he's gone.
Big Joe Egan will be bouncing about tomorrow night at the show for crumbs and crust. You watch it happen, mate.
They'll be wheeling them all out, Russ.
Hey?
Kent's iPad. You do make me laugh.
We've got Ben playing the villain and Eubank playing the goodie. It's goodies and baddies, isn't it? That's what
Yeah,
it is, isn't it? I
good
mean, who
cop.
would have thought Eubank could ever be a goodie?
Never in a million years. There's something about him that's endearing. I mean, he talked about. Did you hear that last night when he just ties him in knots? He talked about the pain he's going through, with the weight, because obviously they're draining him down, and then Ben starts doing his normal effing and jeffing, and then he just went on to say, "Yeah, I'm talking about real pain. Burying my brother in the sands of Dubai." Telling his son when he asked me, "When's Daddy coming home?" I mean, it was just a moment of truth, and it just put everything into perspective. And this is what worries me. Just want him to go home safe with his pot of gold, because he's earned every penny of this, and he would have not got a fraction of that in any other fight.
Yeah, I agree with you, mate. Absolutely agree with you. But
Being taken for
going back to sorry, mate, go on.
No, I was just saying, I think we're being taken for mugs. I just don't see it being any good. I just think it's going to be crap to watch. Let's hope the undercard can get us going, because I think the main event could be stodge.
Well, it's shocking, but going back to Billy Joe Saunders, is that where we're at now? They're struggling for stars. They're having to dig Billy Joe Saunders up to give him a bit of a script to lead us into Eubank's possible next fight. Is that where we're at now?
Well, where we're at now is Queensbury. The last one out turned the light off, and he's struggling, and he's just doing everything just to try and hang in there. In my opinion, I
I
mean,
look
Billy
at Billy Joe's record here, Ian, right? After he fought David Lemieux, a former champion, yeah?
was a good fight, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah, he schooled him, yeah, and rubbed his nose in it, looking up to the sky when he was missing with them big swingers. But after that, 2017, Billy Joe fought Charles Adamo, who'd got 13 losses. Shafat Isufi, right? He fought him for a vacant WBO, which Bricktop gifted him. Uh, and then after that, he fought Marcelo Coceres.
Wasn't
I
that
know,
on
yeah. Then
the
Martin Murray, they dug Martin Murray up hard at City Road Cemetery at Sheffield. And then after that, yeah, I mean, Martin Murray, how was that a world title defense? I don't know. And then they threw him in with Martin Murray lost every round, by the way. Then they threw him in with Saul Alvarez. Billy had never really been in a firefight, had he, when he fought Saul Alvarez? And for me, his career, I know he won two-weight world champion, but there were gifts what he got, absolute gifted world title. And for me, for him to come back, it's just about money in it and hype. And this is where boxing's going now. It's not about belts and legacy. It's about promoters being greedy and looking who does the views and what scripts they can get. And for me, it's absolute pish at the moment. I'm just going to keep hammering it until we get a change. And if people don't like it, don't watch my channel because we're not here to lick arse like other YouTubers. You know what I mean? We're pissed off with sport. And this is where we're at. And this is where you won't put it past them, would you, though? Eubank flogging Ben and Billy Joe diving in with Eubank. And if he's in Ben's corner, Eddie will have a deal for him because he can't go back to Bricktop, can he, Billy Joe?
no, no.
Eddie's
Any
his only game in town. He won't be going back for a long time. He won't be going back for a long career. He'll just be coming back for one or two fights. And he'll be thinking, Eubank rematch and then a trilogy. That's what he'll be thinking. But he's 4 year out at ring next week. And if Eubank fights again, it could be Christmas. So Billy Joe could be pushing 5 year out at ring before he gets his hands on Eubank. And what can you do when you've been out ring that long?
I don't think Eubank will fight this year again. He's never been a busy fighter, has he?
No, he ain't, mate. He just. What did you think to Eddie at the press conference? Do you think he looked vulnerable?
He looked. I just don't think he knew if he was Arthur or Martha. Honestly, Russ, he looked shell shocked. He got done by Rick Reno to start with. That put him on his back foot, and then he just looked. He left the stage. Left the stage. He
Well,
looks.
what about Eubank Senior? doing interviews saying that Eddie gave Crusher Ben PEDs. Eddie's saying he's going to sue him. It's just all hype, isn't it?
Yep, yeah. Well, we said this yesterday, didn't we? His dad's not well, and they shouldn't really put a camera in his face.
His dad's not well. His dad ever been well?
No, he hasn't. He's been as mad as a box of frogs, but he just looks drained. He looks ill, and I just feel sorry for the fella. To be honest, I just don't know why they want to interview him. I really don't, because all they're trying to do is make the bad blood worse, and that's not good, is it? And
No,
this is a purist sport. What are they doing to it?
I don't know, mate. I don't know. Do you think that there'll be a kick-off at the weigh-in, Ian?
Don't think so, because no fight, they don't get paid, do they? And it's so close now. I think there'll be some shenanigans, but I don't think it. I think it'll be handbags again.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I mean, he's done the master stroke with the egg. I mean, not everyone thought it was in good taste. I mean, I thought it was quite funny personally, but I don't know. I think it's. I mean, what do you think?
I think it could kick off, and and somebody could end up getting cut. Do you know what I mean? Because if all like that happens at this weigh-in, nobody's gonna get paid, are they?
I mean, this second weigh-in, is that going to be televised?
Well, hopefully.
Are we going to see
Why
it?
do they need a second weigh-in anyway? There's no world title on line, is there? I mean, what's going on there?
They're trying to handicap him. It's as simple as that. Eddie Hearn wants Eubank to be sick going into the ring. And like I said yesterday, can you imagine if this goes wrong, what's going to happen? All the woke brigade will be out screaming and shouting about boxing. Weight division for a reason, and I do like the fact that they're letting him rehydrate, but I don't know. And then he's now got Billy in the corner. He's going to be chirping up, so just trying to break him down. But I think Chris Eubank is strong enough to withhandle it. I mean, Liam Smith, he wants that fight in a heartbeat with Connor, because it'd be an easy day's work for him.
What for Liam Smith?
Yeah,
Liam Smith would absolutely light Crusher Ben up.
he absolutely. I could see it in the interview yesterday. He just absolutely would love the fight. It'd be an easy day's work for him.
Yeah,
Actually, Russ, I looked at him yesterday. He looked scared at the press conference. I think it suddenly dawned on him what's going on.
dawned on who? Ben.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's out his depth, isn't
totally. And you said he's not even area level, is he?
You'd have him down as area level, wouldn't you? Really? Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Area, you wouldn't have him. I don't think he'd win an English title at light middleweight or welterweight. I mean, no, he's not for me. I mean, but my argument with this Ben situation is this: how did clomiphene get in your system?
And no one will ask the question.
Is there drug testing for this fight? I've lost my press pass years and years ago when I first started with Big Ron for asking that. So is the drug testing for this fight? Nobody is asking the question. But yet, Jarrell Miller, when he failed the dope test, they were doing Sunday sermons and Monday mass about it, weren't they? Everybody had an opinion on it, didn't they?
Well, it's like Dennis McCann. That's all gone quiet now, isn't it?
Nobody wants to talk about it because he's a bricktop fighter.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line.
That is a good question, though, actually. Has there been drug testing for this fight? You would assume there is.
Phew, well, we'll see, won't we?
I mean, if he was innocent, why has he spent £1 million? You spend £1 million because you need to get out of
Well,
something.
let's show me some invoices. Show me some invoices, £1 million. I want to see invoices. That's what we want to see, don't we? Do you believe he spent £1 million fighting this when they've been milking it playing villain?
I don't believe anything anymore. I just sit there and watch, and everything's spun, as we said earlier.
Like I said to you, thousands and thousands of tickets for sale. So what'll happen now is they'll all be handed out by employees of Matchroom. They'll be running around Tottenham and the surrounding areas Saturday night, handing them out in pubs for free. So if anybody wants to go to the fight, just hang around the stadium and you'll be able to get in free. You'll expect Eddie Hills to put something out Saturday saying we're going to give some free tickets away to the NHS if you turn up with proof of that you work there. That's what happens. Or help for heroes, for armed forces. That's what will happen. But it is what it is.
Meanwhile, there's still 240,000 in the queue to buy them.
Yeah, 250,000 people in queue, but nobody's nobody's bought them all, have they? Or unless they're just the deer tickets that have gone cheap. But like I said, some tickets now they're practically giving them away, and I think it's all because of this dope issue.
I think
I
you're
think
right.
people have said, you know what? I'm not having this. I'm not having it. They've got a kid there. Well, he's not a kid, Crusher Ben now. He's 29 in a few months, isn't he?
He's not a kid.
He's not a kid. He's 29 in September, right? So next time he fights after this, he will be over 29. And it's not next gen now, is it?
Never. It's never going to be. They've had a pampered life. Boxing is for super strong, tough people, and there's no way you could put him in there. I couldn't go in a ring, Russ. You've got to have a mind of immense mindset and bravery just to go in and just do area level boxing. I
Yeah.
mean, this guy they're talking about, he's going to fight for a world title. We're going to see it all on Saturday, and we're all going to watch it, aren't we? Which is the great shame,
Yeah.
because we could all walk with our feet, but we won't.
Yeah. Well, what about he were offered there were 5 fights on the table for Crusher Ben. There were welterweight world title fights, there were light middle eliminators, and obviously the Ben fight. So sorry, the Eubank fight. They took the Eubank fight because of the money. But let me tell you this. I want to know them other 4 fights were lined up for him because there would have been absolute cream puffs.
I mean, he's got a ranking, a world ranking, and he's not fought anyone.
Well, nobody's going to put it on him and say, Eddie, who were these other 4 fights and out the 5 that were lined up? Who were they? That's all you've got to ask. Who were the other 4 fights that you had lined up for Crusher? And then they'll go to them people and ask their teams if they were offered. Right, ask him that and ask Eddie how Cloverfield got in his system and ask Eddie if he's got the invoices from the lawyers. Can he put them on social media regarding how much they spent on lawyers' fees? That's all we want to know. That's all we want to know. It's not rocket science. And can Eddie show us proof about these 250,000 in queue buying tickets because there's thousands for sale? People, if you don't believe me, go onto the Spurs website and have a look at how cheap these tickets are. It's absolutely embarrassing. It's a car crash of a show now, I think. Car crash of a show. But they're going
Well,
to hype it up the best they can. They're going to tell us. They're going to tell us the opposite. So,
we're going to have all the old footage on television, aren't we, of the dads fighting and
oh, listen, mate. They're gonna milk that to death. Well, the Nigel Ben's milking it, and the other one, he's probably pissed off because he's not involved, senior.
that could be true, actually.
You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
good.
The son probably don't want him involved because he is an absolute crank.
Well, they say he's impossible to deal with. All the promoters over the years, they said he's just a nightmare. I mean, I've heard 2 or 3 interviews. He keeps moving the goalposts, and maybe he wants a certain fee. I don't know. He just doesn't look well, so I don't think really it'd be. Well, it's a circus anyway, so you could wheel him in.
Well,
Uh,
people are saying he's not got a pot to piss in, the dad.
it wouldn't surprise me.
He's not got a pot to piss in it. He were walking round streets the other day with Michael Watson. He looked like some homeless guy in that big coat.
Well, He's done all his dough. He spent more than was probably coming in, Russ. I mean, he had a lot of money, didn't he?
Yeah.
Who's that? The Northern fighter, that the really lovely kid, Robin Reed.
Yeah, Robin Reed.
I mean, I listened to an interview on Boxing Heroes, and he went through his whole life. I mean, what a CV! He's struggling financially.
Yeah, he's a very good friend of mine, Robin, actually. I speak to him regularly. Yeah, he's a very good friend of mine.
Honestly, Russ, I listened to that interview. It broke my heart. And the skill set the man had in the ring is a fabulous boxer. Some say he beat Calzaghe, and then Ricky Hatton asked him once, congratulations, you fought a great fight. And then he said, you must be looking forward to your big check arriving. And I think he got something like about 100 grand or something.
What fight was that for?
That was for the Calzaghe fight.
He didn't get 100 grand for that. He didn't
Didn't
get,
he really?
well, I know what I'm not going to say on here, but he didn't get 100 grand for it. But I know what he got offered for rematch, and it was chicken feed, and it
But,
never happened.
but what a
But
fabulous fighter. And
yeah, he
then,
was. He's a lovely kid, Robin Reed, actually, a real nice kid.
but weren't they using him more? He's a good looking boy. He's
Yeah.
polite. And then Crusher is getting millions, and he's done nothing. I bet these ex-fighters, they must sit at home and just shake their head.
Yeah, it's not good, is it, mate? It's
It's
not
not.
good.
It's not good.
Do you want to go on to part two, Ian?
Yes, sir.
I'll see you on part two. Should we call it five to?
Yep, lovely, mate.
I'll
That's
see you in 3 minutes on part two. Cheers, mate.
bye, buddy. See you.
Thanks for liking and subscribing and leaving a comment. Like I said earlier, if anybody's got a problem with this video or this channel, don't watch. Don't watch, but people like to watch car crash, don't they? TV. All right, go on. Peace out.